there and welcome back to my channel. If you want a ridiculously cute Easter project you can finish in an hour, this project is the one. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to sew it step by step from fabric pieces to a fully finished bag with working drawstrings and those floppy little bunny ears on top. The pattern comes in 3 different sizes and it is now available in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description. So grab your fabric, thread up your machine and let's start sewing. Okay, let's start from the very beginning. First, cut out all your main fabric pieces following the pattern. And don't skip transferring the notches. They're tiny, but they make sewing so much easier later. Now do the exact same thing with your lining pieces. Cut them out, mark the notches, and set them aside. In this project, the notches aren't just for alignment. Their placement is also very important for the construction itself. Grab your main fabric pieces. These will be the outside of the bag. The notches I am marking on these pieces are the ones you'll be using for the main fabric steps, which are the notch at the dip in the center of the top curved edge and the pairs of drawstring tunnel notches on both side edges that sit very close to each other. I'm marking them so they show up more clearly on camera. Place one main fabric piece right side up in front of you. Place the other one on top of it with right sides together. Line up the edges nicely and secure them with a few pins. Then sew along the bottom using a 1 cm seam allowance. Open that seam and give it a good press so it lies flat. Trust me, pressing here makes everything look way more professional later. Bring the pieces right sides together again. Align the edges and pin in a few places to keep the layers from shifting. Now sew down both side edges, but stop and leave the sections between the drawstring channel notches open. Don't sew those sections closed, because that's where we'll insert the ribbons later. Again, use a 1 cm seam allowance. Now, position the bag so both side seams are stacked on top of each other. Use your fingers to spread the seam allowances open at the bottom, then do the same at the top. Holding it like this, press those side seams open all the way to the ends so everything looks neat. Now for the part where it starts looking like an actual bag. We're going to box the corners so the bag gets some depth. Now grab these corners and pinch them with your fingers. Then pull the two sides apart so the bottom seam and side seam come together and sit directly on top of each other. You'll see a straight edge form, and that's exactly what we want. Make sure the seams line up nicely. Then stick a pin right through them so nothing shifts. Repeat the same steps on the other corner as well, aligning the seam lines in the same way and pinning it just like you did on the first side, so both corners are completed evenly. Then sew straight across each edge using a 1 cm seam allowance on both sides. And just like that, the main fabric bag is complete and our boxy corners are done. Alright, now let's work on the lining. Grab your lining pieces and place them in front of you. The notches on these pieces matter too, but they're slightly different from the main fabric. The notch at the dip in the center of the top curved edge and the pair of notches at the bottom edge are the important ones here. I've highlighted them again so they show up clearly on camera. Place one lining piece right side up in front of you. Place the other one on top of it, aligning all the edges carefully with right sides together so everything matches. And pin in a few spots so nothing slides around while sewing. Sew along the bottom edge using a 1 cm seam allowance, but leave the section between the notches open. Don't close that part as we'll need this opening later to turn the bag right side out. Sew to the first notch, skip the gap, then continue from the next notch. Open the seam allowances with your fingers. At the opening, fold the seam allowance inward by 1 cm as well. Then, give everything a good press so it lies flat. Pressing the opening this way will make it easier when closing it later. Bring the pieces right sides together again. Align the raw edges and pin in a few places. Then, unlike the main fabric, sew down both side edges with a 1 cm seam allowance, stitching the entire length this time. Now place the bag so both side seams are stacked on top of each other, just like we did with the main fabric. Use your fingers to open the seam allowances at the bottom and at the top so they lie flat. Then press those side seams open all the way along the seam line. And just like we did for the main fabric bag, we're going to box the corners so the lining has the same shape. The steps are exactly the same as we followed for the main fabric. Take one corner, pinch it, and pull the sides apart until the bottom and side seams line up on top of each other, forming a straight edge. Align the seams and insert a pin through them to keep everything in place. Repeat the exact same steps on the other corner, aligning the seams the same way so both lining corners are shaped evenly. Then sew straight across those edges using a 1 cm seam allowance. And that's your lining bag done, and we're ready to go to next step. Okay, now it's time to join the two bags. Place the lining bag in front of you with the wrong side facing out. Take your main bag and turn it right side out. Then slide the main bag inside the lining so their right sides are facing each other. Push the corners down so the bottom corners line up with each other. Take a moment to align the seam lines at the ear sections. Place the seams directly on top of each other, then insert a pin straight through both layers and back out again to lock them perfectly in place, just like we did when creating the boxed corners at the bottom. Do the same alignment on the other side as well. Also match the corresponding notches at the dip between the ears on both sides and place pins there vertically. Bring the matching notches at the dip on the opposite side together and pin them as well. Align the rest of the raw edges along the curved edge. Then pin in a few places to hold everything securely together. Once everything is aligned, sew all around the top edge using a 0.5 cm seam allowance, carefully guiding the fabric through the curves. Just go slow and guide your presser foot along the curved shape as you go. After sewing, turn the whole bag right side out through the opening we left at the bottom of the lining. Pull the ear sections out so they pop into shape. Use your fingers to gently push the seams out so the ears look nice and smooth. Take a little time here, this is what makes the shape look really clean. Then adjust the bag all around so the lining sits neatly inside the main fabric in every curve and corner. Add a few pins around the bag to hold everything in place. Then press along the edge so the seam line that connects main fabric and lining comes out nice and crisp. Now we are going to mark the drawstring channel lines. You can see the opening here where the ribbon will go later. To do this, first put a small horizontal mark extending slightly to both sides at each end of one opening using a heat erasable pen or tailor's chalk. Repeat the exact same marking on the other side of the bag. Lay the bag flat in front of you so one full side is visible, smoothing it with your hands as flat as possible. Then, use a ruler to connect the two marks at the top ends of the openings with a straight line. Next, connect the two marks at the bottom ends in the same way. Turn the bag over so the other side is facing up and repeat these lines on that side as well. Make sure your lines pass through the very ends of the openings on both side edges. This ensures the channels connect properly. Once both lines run parallel to each other all the way around, turn the bag wrong side out again so you can follow the lines easily while sewing. Sew along both lines continuously around the bag to create the drawstring channels. You'll end up with two circular stitches that run parallel to each other and pass right at the ends of the openings. That's it. Your channels are done and ready for the ribbons. Okay, now let's add the ribbons. The length varies by size and you can find the exact lengths in the table under How should my ribbon lengths be in the sewing instructions manual. But the ribbon width should be about 1 cm. You can also use a ribbon up to 1.5 cm wide since that's the width of the tunnel we created. I am sewing the large size, so I'm cutting my ribbons according to that measurement. You'll need 2 ribbons, one for each opening, so I'm using the first one as a guide to cut the second to the same length. To thread the ribbon through the tunnel, use a safety pin or a bodkin to one end of the ribbon. This makes it much easier to guide through the channel. Attach the safety pin to the end of the ribbon. Then, insert it into one opening. Slowly feed it through the tunnel, gently scrunching the fabric along as you go. You might feel it catching slightly on the seam allowances. If that happens, just wiggle it gently until it slides past. When it reaches the other opening on the opposite side, don't pull it out. Keep it inside the tunnel and continue feeding it through. Keep going until it comes back out from the opening where you started. After pulling the ribbon end out, don't let it slip back inside. Keep both tails outside and open the bag to flatten it. Now take the second ribbon and repeat the exact same process from the other opening, feeding it all the way around and bringing it back out to its starting point. With 2 ribbon tails are coming out from both openings, tie a knot at each ribbon end so they don't slip back inside. If you're using a polyester ribbon like mine, you can prevent fraying by carefully melting the ends with a lighter. Just hold the flame at a slight distance and do it very gently so the ribbon doesn't burn, but be very careful. Now we'll close the opening at the bottom. Turn the bag inside out so the lining side is facing out. Turn the 1 cm seam allowance at the opening to the inside. Thanks to the pressing we did earlier, it should fold in really easily. Align the layers neatly on top of each other. Place a couple of pins to hold them in place and sew close to the folded edge to secure it. And that's it! Your bunny drawstring bag is finished. Give it one last gentle press to smooth everything out. Shape the ears nicely and adjust the gathers by pulling the ribbons evenly. This bag is perfect for Easter treats, small gifts, egg hunts, or just storing little everyday treasures, and it looks adorable no matter how you use it. If you'd like to make your own set, the pattern is available on my Etsy shop and includes all 3 sizes, so you can mix and match depending on what you need. Thank you so much for sewing along with me today. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more cozy sewing projects. I'll see you in the next one, and happy sewing!